I'm Mark.
It's Gonzo.
Yeah.
I haven't done this in a while. I know who I am, I promise.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark.
It's Gonzo.
And today we're talking about how to deal with a CR40 unbeatable monster scheduling.
That is the most unbeatable monster.
Yeah, you can't really beat it, but you can maybe kind of deal with it. And we're going to talk about some ways that you can deal with it. So what's one way that we can really kind of get ahead of this?
The scheduling
monsters, what we kind of affectionately call
it.
What
is the scheduling monster? Obviously, that is the inability to meet together often in a consistent basis. Like, that's really it. And we thought that during COVID, that maybe that would kind of go away as more people were having to play online.
Yeah.
But even there, if you have any kind of long-running campaign or even a story that takes 2 or 3 or 4 sessions to put together, it's just it happens very often where the players can't get together.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. One player is missing here, one player is there. Yeah. And we don't want to get into the list of reasons why. We know that those are all valid. Right. But there are ways that you can try to combat this. And one of the keys is to start in the very beginning during what we call session 0. Session 0 is important. And we've done a video on that. You can check our channel for that. But session 0 is where you would cover things just like this. When are you going to meet? Like, what day of the week? How often? What's the frequency? What time? Mm-hmm. Who's bringing the chips?
Yeah, that's important.
It's all Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
it's all important. Yeah. Or if you're meeting online, the very same things. Like, what time? When are you going to meet? These things, if they're covered during session 0, can help a lot in beating this monster back, because if it's when we're talking about when to meet, what day to meet, there should be a consensus among the players, whether you have 3 players and a DM or 5 or 6 or whatever. There should be a consensus that, okay, Friday night seems to work best for most of the people, or Tuesday night at this time works best for most. But there's other things you can consider during session 0 that will help this as well.
Yeah, another thing you can really think about is what happens when someone can't make it. Because no matter how, let's say we nailed down Thursday night, it's great for everybody, it's all wonderful, but, something happens. A sitter can't watch somebody's kids or something or whatever. And so what's going to happen then? So if you get ahead of that early on, then this is what's going to happen. So, all right, what are they going to do? You still need to play. You know, if the group can carry on, they should. And that's an important thing, because honestly, if you don't adhere to that and just keep doing it, if you kept just canceling every time, pretty soon you'll lose control of that one night that was going to be D&D night. So you do want to keep doing it if you can, because that FOMO thing too kicks in. If people carry on without, you're like, oh my God, I missed out.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you made it. So you do want to do that. But what you can do is you can get ahead of it and say, like, all right, let's say if someone's not there, someone else can play their character.
Yeah, you have options. Right.
Yeah, so you could have, like, maybe another player will play the character, or even a DM could play it. Yeah. But DMs have a lot to do, Gonzo. They have a lot they have to take care of. And sometimes it's hard for the DM to just take on something else like that.
Well, I mean, they're creating the adventure. They're setting up the snacks, where you're meeting, all of these things. Speaking of creating adventures and creating things for players to play, we have a Kickstarter that we're really excited about. Let us tell you about it.
All right, the Codex of Quest. It comes from TikTok's Brandon DM and the Cantrip Cast. Okay. It is a book of over 50 quests, and they have quite a variety of quests. These are quests that are 1 to 4 pages that you can drop in any campaign. They have things like you can travel into nightmares of a child, or get some grandmother some milk. So there's a lot of different variety there.
Mm-hmm. What I really like is the classes and subclasses that they've invented for this. They have 3 new classes and 12 new subclasses. New monsters, new races. This looks amazing. It's on Kickstarter right now. I think by the time this video drops, it'll be less than 10 days left to get it. So go grab your copy as we speak.
Link down in the description. Another thing you could do is you could write them out for the night. Like, they could maybe that night that character goes off on a quest to go do something. So the rest of the group still plays and does their thing. They just won't have that one character in there.
Mm-hmm. Or someone else could play that character. Like some other person that says, I'll play in tonight. All right, you've got this guy. This is where you're at. Maybe a one-shot for them, and maybe they'll get more interested in joining the group.
I like that, because maybe it's a person that's like been bugging you, like, I kind of want to try this. I'm not sure about this D&D thing. You can get one of those sidekick cards And they can kind of run a sidekick along.
You can call them and say, hey, we're missing a guy tonight. Do you want to come in and play? And that'll be perfect.
Good way for them to get their feet wet a little bit and see if they like it. So, all right, that's very good.
But we thought of this is a bonus tip, but this may really help out. And it depends on your group. But frequency is really a key.
Yeah.
Frequency is how often are you going to play. And when you're so excited, you naturally say, I want to play every week, and maybe more than once a week.
Right.
Now, that's a lot on a Dungeon Master, but it's definitely a lot on a schedule.
Yeah.
Maybe spreading it out a little bit more, maybe every 2 weeks, or depending on the group, maybe every 3 weeks or even 4 weeks, may actually help players to be able to be at the table. Because if it's more of an event versus a weekly thing,
right.
I think I can tell you it'd be almost impossible to be able to meet weekly and for 52 sessions, if it takes you a year to get through a campaign, for everyone to get together. Yeah. But 12 or 20, that may happen, and it's more of an event. Think of football is once a week, and it's the most popular sport in our country. Yeah. Baseball, you could play 3, 4, 5 games in a week, or basketball. So you're not heavily involved or engaged in the regular season of those things. So I think that changing the frequency, and again, doing this as session 0, can maybe really help your players to be more committed, more engaged with the story because they're remembering what's going on, and overall having more fun, which is what it's all about and why we play.
And with that,
class dismissed.